E aí, pessoa ensolarada, eu sou o Sal Crespo, esse é meu canal no YouTube onde eu falo sobre compartilha minha jornada buscando viver preto e bem. E eu sou instrutor, formado em Kemetic Yoga. Em 2019 eu tive a honra de me formar. Aqui a gente tem um vídeo da minha formação, um webdoc. E nesse processo da formação eu tive a oportunidade com o irmão Ryan de gravar esse vídeo que eu tô aqui apresentando para vocês somente agora, porque é um vídeo muito trabalhoso, afinal de contas eu tive que transcrever e traduzir todo o áudio do inglês para o português. Mas é um vídeo muito poderoso em informação, né? Eu sou aqui um instrutor, um mestre hiper aprendiz, e foi uma oportunidade muito boa revisitar as palavras do Ryan nesse vídeo, trabalhar em cima desse material, pude reaprender muito ouvindo e lendo ele. E eu quero compartilhar isso com vocês aqui agora. Quem está aí na busca, provavelmente se você chegou nesse vídeo, você está querendo saber um pouco mais sobre Kemetic Yoga. A gente sabe que o conteúdo é todo em inglês, então estou bem feliz de estar disponibilizando aqui no canal essa narrativa, essa fala tão potente e poderosa da importância, do impacto da Kemetic Yoga na comunidade negra, na vida de pessoas pretas, né? E aí é isso, espero que vocês gostem do vídeo. E tamo junto, se inscreve no canal para continuar acompanhando minha jornada e trajetória aqui. Deixa like no vídeo, tá? Caso você curta as ideias. E tamo junto. Beijo, muita luz pra nós. Gente, tudo bem? Eu tô aqui com o Ryan. A gente se conheceu aqui na formação de Kemetic Yoga. A gente precisa falar aqui no canal sobre Kemetic Yoga, yoga africano. Então eu sei que o Ryan tem muito a contribuir com a gente para falar sobre isso. Ele fala em inglês, então eu vou traduzir e colocar legendas aqui. Meu inglês não é muito bom, mas enfim, a gente vai conseguir fazer isso rolar. So Ryan, I'm happy because you are here, yes. And I think you have so many things for share, and you can share a little, and it is good for us. So people on my channel need to know about yoga for black people. So Kemetic Yoga is about this. So I imagine no, you can talk about this. So yoga for black people.
Okay, so Kemetic Yoga for black people. So yoga is something that, as black people, we haven't actually been taught about the art of yoga. It's just been something that we see. Often when we see, it's not from people that look like us. Yeah? It's from white people or the Indian people, mainly. Yeah? Also, not just that, it's not usually by people who come from the same social class as us. It's often done by people who are from a richer environment than us, yeah. So because of this, we disconnect from it, especially in black communities where I'm from, in England. My city is Birmingham, big black communities in Birmingham, and because we are in, it's not like the favelas, but it's like the deprived areas. So it's like the black communities, not much employment. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of gang activity, a lot of oppression and suppression. Now, because we see yoga, we associate yoga with things outside of our community. And also it's very feminine, you see. This is how we see yoga. Now, Kemetic Yoga, it brings something different to us. For me, Kemetic Yoga it's more like an education process. It's like a re-education, because it's not just about moving, or looking good moving. Kemetic Yoga, it teaches us to move with our heart, to move with our mind, to control and channel our energies. It teaches us about health and nutrition. It teaches us how to listen to the body. It teaches us to connect our mind with our breath, with our physical body, with our spirit. It teaches us meditation techniques. Again, these things we associated with things outside of ourselves, because we had to create a culture within a system that we feel like is attacking us. So anything that comes from outside of that culture, we feel like it's an attack or that it's not for us. When actually, Kemetic Yoga, it gives us all of this, but then it teaches us that actually this comes from us too. You know, so it reconnects our internal bodies. It also reconnects us to our ancient history. And it presents to us a new idea of what we are as human beings, as African descendants. It teaches us that we come from high science. It teaches us that we come from high knowledge of astrology, of the physical body, of the soul, of the brain, of the mind, of architecture, of community, of peace and love, of meditation. Yeah? It teaches us about things that even the modern world has not yet caught up with. You know, it shows us that the Western world is still very behind our ancient ancestors. So now this gives us a new identity. This new identity is very, very necessary, yeah, for us to transform our condition, for us to transform our attitude to each other and to ourselves. It gives us health, yeah. It gives us detoxification of the body, of the mind, of the spirit. I'm a nutritionist, yeah. So I understand how nutrition is very, very important, yeah, for the health and the body and the energy that we need to perform, to work and to build families, to build communities, to build great developments. Yeah. So yoga also connects the mind and the body to health and purification. Yeah. And with this purification process, yeah, we then get access to higher spiritual insights within, because now you can feel ancestral knowledge coming from within. So for us, for me, it's very deep. It's art. It's also like poetry. Yeah, it's very deep. And then we learn of the ancestral ideas of the spirituality and science system of the universe, which is very different to religion. Because my generation, when we grow up with this Western religion, Christianity and Islam and these religions, we know it didn't come from us. We know that it was a slave tool to program the mind, to program our spirituality. What then it does for us, we then can realize that before this idea of religion that has been forced on us, actually, it gives us permission to drop it, to leave that alone, and enter into a greater idea of what we call God. Yeah? It teaches us that we don't have to look or wait for God outside of ourselves, but that we can access and find God within us. This is very important again for the connections that Kemetic Yoga makes to us, because not only does it connect us to our mind, our spirit, our physical body, not only does it connect us to our ancestral past and history, it also connects us to the netta, the nature, yeah, our environment, and it teaches us how to identify. I don't like the word God, but we will use the word God because it teaches us how to identify God within our nature, within our natural environment. This is very, very important, because when we are trying to deal with health in the body, in the mind, and the spirit, we must turn to nature also to support this process. So we can turn to God in the nature. We can see the personality, the energies, the forces that operate through the nature, and that also operate at the same time within ourselves.
Yes.
So these are very fundamental connections that can be made through the practice and study of Kemetic Yoga, because it's not just about the movements,
Yes.
it's about studying the energies and the forces that are within us, that are within nature, that are within the universe, yeah? And it combines everything together into a lifestyle that now we can be proud of, that nobody has to force on us, but we can regain pride, we can gain honor, not to please anybody or not for the ego, but for the inner God within. So it changes our direction in life. This is what it's done for me, this is what it's done for people who I know that are practicing this. It disconnects it from any other form of yoga or philosophy of yoga. Sure, it's similar in its movements. Maybe Indian yoga, I like Indian yoga too.
Yes.
But it does not give me a spiritual, a mental, an ancestral connection, which is vital for the upliftment of my human being. It's vital for the upliftment and for the development and for the health and for the growth of my communities, not only in Africa, not only in UK, but the whole global diaspora. Kemetic Yoga gives us a language that we can all understand, and then we can communicate with an energy, yeah, which is stronger than the words, you see. So Kemetic Yoga, it brings so much to me, to the people that I practice with. I'm in Brazil now,
Yes.
having great connections with my brothers and sisters. We have American people here too, you know. So all of this is why I say at the start, for me, Kemetic Yoga, it's a complete education process. It's not just an exercise, it's an education process, and it has great potentials. Also, we can connect it to other spirituality systems and arts and practices across Africa, across Brazil, across the diaspora. So it brings everything together in a very exciting and healthy way. And the potential that it has, not only for us, but for the children,
Yes.
for the elders, because now I do this type of yoga with the elders, I can do it with the children, you know. Even these connections before were separate, because some of my elders, they practice Christianity or Islam or even maybe even Rastafarian.
Yes.
But some of these things, they divide the community and they create disconnections, because some of the elders do not want to connect with the younger generation because they think we have put down Christianity, so we are bad or we are wicked. Yeah? But also it gives the elders another insight into who we truly are, because truth will speak to everybody. We don't have to force it on each other. It will speak from the inside. So it's a very powerful art. It's a very powerful tool, my brother. So yeah, I'm happy to share my words with you.
Yes, I'm happy for this. I'm happy for the words, yours. So thank you. Thank you for sharing this with my friends and people that are watching me in this channel. I'm happy for this moment. I'm happy for meeting you.
So it's cool, my brother.
So thank you. Yes.
Hotep.
Hold that.
I just want to say, here, me coming to Brazil
Yes.
with Casa de Maage.
Yes.
Yes. This, I've took Kemetic Yoga around the world, you know. I've practiced in Africa with Africans. I've practiced in Europe, you know. I've practiced a little in America, yeah. But what I feel in Brazil
Yes.
is even more exciting than anywhere I've felt it anywhere else, because it can connect to the Brazilian culture. It complements the Brazilian culture. The Brazilian culture complements
Yes.
the Kemetic Yoga culture. We are here with Capoeira masters.
Yes.
This for me is a dream alone, you know. But as I explained, the Kemetic Yoga, it connects people who are true of heart, who want to be true of heart and pure. It has a magnetism, an energetic field that pulls people together who wouldn't usually be together in a space. This is very encouraging. Casa de Ma'aj is, for me, it's a very proud moment for me to see this kind of movement happening. Mama Rosa,
Yes.
Phenomenal lady, her dedication to the cause. You know, it's people like this that will be spoken of in the future, you know, as the pioneers of these kind of internal revolutions, you know, that we must go through. We're living in a very special time right now. There are lots of suppression, but the potential is opening and we are waking up, we are becoming more conscious. Ancestors are speaking, so I'm very proud of Brazil and excited for the future of the connections and of all of the Afro communities here who have, you know, who might come into this process. So yeah, Brazil is a special place. You should be proud.
Tá vendo? Somos especiais, hein? A gente tem que estar junto, together, yes, because in Brazil, we're so power, like you say. Como ele disse, somos muito poderosos, a gente precisa reconhecer essa energia, esse poder, permanecer junto, fazer isso acontecer. É isso. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Obrigado.